everybody, I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith here in the First Alert Streaming Center on this Sunday. We are back with the weekend morning streaming show. Yesterday, I don't want to call it technical difficulties because it was planned. We had to do an upgrade to our server, and in order to do that, I was unable to do the stream, or at least it was just easier to have one less thing to do around here because it was kind of all hands on deck. So that's why we did not have the streaming show yesterday. But again, we are back today, and we actually have a lot more to talk about today than we did yesterday. So I didn't feel so bad about not doing it yesterday, because I guess I could have probably just done it straight from my phone, but wouldn't have had access to the graphics. So I would have just been a talking head, and that sounds very boring to me. So yeah, so we are back here. And I actually haven't done one of these since, well, I guess, did I do it Wednesday? Yeah, that's not that long ago. But we are talking about storm chances today, the heat and humidity hanging around for the next several days. And so, yeah, a lot to kind of get to. So if you have any questions, as usual, make sure that you leave them in the comment section. You know, kind of while it is going to be hot and humid today, it's still going to be a nice day to get outside. We have to remember that it is July. This is very typical for what we would expect for July. We have had several days already this month in the 90s, including yesterday, and then yesterday was Saturday. I think Thursday was in the 90s too. So it's not that we're not used to it yet. Remember in June when we had that string of days in the 90s, we weren't really used to it. And so we were more worried about the heat causing issues. Now we're kind of, our bodies are primed for it. The problem is it's going to continue for several days, and it's only going to get worse. Tomorrow and Tuesday look to be even warmer. So let's dive in. So not only talk about the heat and humidity, but also storm chances today. And we'll talk more about that here in just a bit. Outside right now, kind of that hazy view. I went outside to take something to my car just a little bit ago, and that air is thick. There is a bit of a breeze. I wouldn't call it windy by any means, but at least a little bit of something to kind of stir that air around and make it feel a little bit better. Locally on radar, nothing right now, but we are going to be tracking the chance for showers and thunderstorms later today. What we're watching right now off to the north and northwest, so let's kind of zoom in on this. Let me make sure. I do. Okay, just wanted to make sure I had watches and warnings on, because there was a warning earlier with these storms in northern Indiana, but now there are no warnings. So if we track those storms into the area, and again, not severe right now, and actually starting to weaken. If you really got to pay attention to radar here and look in the last several loops, it's getting a little bit more disorganized. So again, there was a warning on this cell. I think it was this particular cell right here along I-65. I think that's 65 right there. But yeah, it has weakened some. But if we track that into the area, if it keeps that current pace, let's just see when it would arrive here in Cincinnati. So not until 5 p.m. That actually correlates very well. By the way, I didn't plan that, but it actually worked out. Sometimes the models and the actual track on radar are very far off because it's going to encounter different kind of issues, and by issues I mean terrain or another weather system, another kind of wave of showers or thunderstorms on its way here. But actually, I feel very strongly that this is probably very accurate. It would put those storms into the Cincinnati area around 5 o'clock. Now, we could see some storms before that. We could see some pop-up variety thunderstorms even before that. Around 3 to 4 p.m. we could start to see those pop up, and they could continue at times this afternoon. So just a reminder, because I myself have not been able to show you this yet, the updated drought monitor, because it came out on Thursday. It's very similar to what we had last week, but showing more areas in that moderate drought. So we do still need the rain, even though we've had some rain recently. Not everybody has seen that. It hasn't been widespread. It's been very kind of spotty. As a matter of fact, CVG on whatever day that was, Thursday or Friday, had a pop-up storm. Man, why can't I remember what day that was? Anyways, and that storm dumped almost 0.3 of an inch of rain at CVG. I live probably less than 5 miles as the crow flies from CVG, and I got nothing. So it just kind of shows that some of this has been really quite scattered. Okay, so let's talk about our storm chances. Let's talk about the temperatures first, and then we'll talk about storm chances. So, because the temperatures are kind of more immediate. because the heat is already out there. No advisories, no watches or warnings for the heat issued just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. The thing is, and it's kind of what I was talking about earlier, one reason why they may not issue an advisory is because we are primed for it. In June, when they issued those advisories, our bodies were not accustomed to that heat yet, and so it was even more dangerous. Hello, Becky. Thanks for joining me. So National Weather Service may not issue it, even though the heat advisory is going to be near 100. It looks like it's going to be right on the cusp of an advisory criteria. So we'll see. Anyways, nothing like that issued just yet. These are the actual temperatures: 83 at CVG, 85 at Lunken. These are the 11 a.m. temperatures: 82 in Falmouth, 85 in Batavia. Here are the dew points, already in the 70s across much of the area. We always point this out, but Lebanon and Batesville read higher because of the vegetation. It holds on to that moisture. It's that or an instrument error, but both can be true. And so once you factor in that the humidity, the dew points in the 70s, this is what it feels like outside right now. And just like when we talk about in the winter with the wind chill, this is what you want to prepare for as you head outside. It feels like 88 at CVG. It feels like 90 at Lunken and Batavia. The Reds are in town. They have first pitch here in the next 2.5 hours. It's still going to feel very warm. So just all these things that you want to consider if you're going to be out and about today, even for a short period of time, that heat can really get to you. But again, we expect that, let me see if these are accurate right now, but we expect that in the coming days, the National Weather Service could issue some of those advisories. So yeah, this actually is I should have shown this earlier, but as you might imagine, it's been anything but normal around here. And so I've been a little off my game. But anyway, so Monday and Tuesday, the heat index will be near 100. So it's going to feel very warm. That's enough to definitely issue an advisory. So we'll see. Even if they don't issue an advisory, just know that it's going to be very hot and humid, and dangerously hot and humid for some folks too. It does get better by the middle of the week because we see a cold front finally move in on Wednesday and brings us some much cooler air. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lisa. It's very, very kind of you. So here's one of, and this actually, it's funny. I was looking at this morning, and they had us in a marginal threat, which is a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5. This comes out from the Storm Prediction Center. They're actually located in Norman, Oklahoma, by the way, the Storm Prediction Center. Very fitting because they get a lot of storms there in that area. But as I was on air, they updated it, or like right before I went on air. And so to me, it was actually, I didn't see it until I went on TV, but they updated this. I think it was at 9 or 9:30. It was in like our last hour of the show. So Storm Prediction Center has increased our threat for severe storms. This goes all the way through tomorrow morning. And notice how the stronger threat for severe weather is kind of our northern half, almost 2/3 of the viewing area. Because as the storms move in from north to south, and I showed you those earlier on radar, they're going to weaken as they move into our area. The pop-up storms are not really what we're concerned with this afternoon. While those could have some heavy rain and lightning, I don't think the winds are strong enough to be severe. What the Storm Prediction Center is really focusing on is that round of storms that we could see late this evening into the overnight hours. That could bring us the potential for severe storms. Of course, even if it's not a severe storm, it's still going to be dangerous if you are outside, and you will want to take cover if you need to, if one of these storms moves over top of your area. Oh, I think that would be more like a derecho. This is, who was that? Kimley. I don't think that that's going to happen. These storms are not nearly as strong as that off to the northwest. It's just kind of what we would see for this time of year. I don't like the heat either, Jeff. You know, I'm okay with it if I'm sitting at a swimming pool or if I'm at the beach. You know, you expect it then. But as I'm sure most of you know, because I talk about it a decent amount, I'm a runner, and I don't like this weather for running, especially like today. I'm going to run after this, and it's going to be really hot. It's going to be very uncomfortable, but it's that or run at 4 a.m., and that seems very dangerous. And I have done that, but, you know, running in the middle of the night or especially alone, it's just probably not advisable. So I'm just gonna run in the heat, run short, and take water with me, and, you know, find shade as much as I possibly can. Bow echo heading this way around 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is way too early. And while it looks like a bow echo off to the northwest, it's already starting to get disorganized. We're still going to keep an eye on it because I will tell you this, it didn't look like this yesterday. This is definitely more organized than, and what I mean is that the models were not depicting quite what it looks like right now yesterday. But we still have a ways to go before it gets here, and a lot could change. I don't see it strengthening. If anything, I would see it starting to weaken as it approaches our area. Just got, I think that this is for the heat. Yeah. So National Weather Service is talking about the heat, hot and humid conditions this afternoon. It's not advisory criteria, but it's close. So this is basically a special weather statement, which is one step below an advisory. The combination of heat and humidity will lead to heat index values near 100 this afternoon. Use caution if planning to be outdoors. Hot and humid conditions continue through Tuesday. Exactly what we've been saying. Drink fluids, stay in air-conditioned rooms, stay out of the sun, and check in with relatives and neighbors. So, yes. And then let's see. And then they're also talking about the severe storm risk. But okay, so the severe storm risk, and actually I'm surprised, and let me make sure, I'm surprised there's not an enhanced risk even further to our northwest, but I'm not complaining either. Okay, just wanted to catch up on all of that, getting alerts on my phone related to the weather and wanted to pass them along to you as well. So let me show you what the model depicts right now. And actually, we might even look at a couple models to show you the difference in those models. So this afternoon, it's really showing as the storms remain pretty spotty, 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Now, wait, that's, notice how it evolves this. Let me widen this. That's the beauty of this show. I don't have to go with exactly what I already have set up because I can change it on the fly. You're welcome, Mark. Thanks for coming. Hey, John, what's up? Thank you, John, always for your support. Appreciate it. Okay, so what I wanted to do, and this might actually be difficult to do right there. Let's do it right here. Is kind of widen the view on this, and you can show how it depicts that storm system coming in from the northwest. So it does weaken it. This model weakens it. It doesn't mean every model does, but watch how then by the time it gets here, it's really focused north and northeast of Cincinnati. That's been pretty consistent in the models. So if your area is basically from Warren County, even northern Butler County, Warren County, Clinton County, Highland County, might have a better chance to see those storms this afternoon, 3 to say 7 p.m. Then we actually dry out until after midnight, and then models have been pretty consistent with this, bringing in storms early tomorrow morning. Now let me change the model here, as I said, on the fly, and show you what a different model kind of depicts. It's going to take a second just to catch up. Sometimes these computers can be finicky. So it shows that, again, those storms are moving in from the northwest. Again, 2 o'clock's way too early. It's not going to get here that fast. But by 4, 5, 6 p.m., yes, we have that chance. Again, almost every model shows it northeast of Cincinnati. And then after midnight, again, another round of storms moving in. I don't know, but this model is really struggling to keep up. Let me try to depict that in a different way. Well, let me look at it here. Okay. There we go. So yeah, it still keeps it northeast of Cincinnati. And then after midnight still brings in those storms. And by the way, after midnight, I really mean closer to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So we kind of have these two different rounds. And then the models have been pretty consistent with this round tomorrow evening as well. So yeah, it's likely we're going to have some of these rounds of showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. We'll just have to keep an eye on radar. But the best chance for storms in the 7-day forecast is going to be on Wednesday. 1 second, because I think I need to blow my nose. That? No. Okay. All right. These summertime, like, sinus problems are just a pain. So temperatures remaining in the 90s for the next several days, all the way through Tuesday. Heat index closer to 100, especially Monday and Tuesday. Today it's upper 90s. It'll feel like about 98 degrees this afternoon. Warmer actual temperatures and higher heat indices for Monday and Tuesday. We'll see at least chances for storms all the way through Wednesday, but Wednesday is when the front moves through, so everybody sees the thunderstorms become more likely. And then we start to see clearing on Thursday behind that front. We start to drop those temperatures, and we also will see the dew points start to drop too, so it will be a lot cooler. Thank you, Kim, Gary, I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, let's talk. Let me show you radar again, because that's kind of, you know, the here and now. Here and now. I won't sing, but great song. Yeah, Michael, I mean, that's pretty accurate. It's going to be kind of hot and humid. Little sweat never hurt anyone. No, that's true, but heat illness will. So, okay, so as we look off to the northwest, we're still watching some of these thunderstorms moving south of Chicago now. Really, I mean, even though there's still a lot of lightning, it's not nearly as well defined as it was earlier this morning. And the other thing is, there was lightning. You know, notice how the lightning doesn't show up till it gets to Chicago. Likely there was lightning before then. We just don't have the data that goes that far away. Our lightning data is distance based, so don't let that kind of show you how strong the storms are. Let me do this so that you can see a little bit better. Let's see where they are right now. I'm going to pause the radar to show you how far away they are from Cincinnati right now. Again, still several hours away from seeing any of those storms here at home. Yeah, still, you know, more than 100 miles, 150 probably to our northernmost area. I can actually do that. Here we go. Yeah, you're looking at more than 100 miles away. Let me see if I have a... Right now, Storm Prediction Center does not have us included in a threat for severe weather on Wednesday. What I think is likely to happen is that any of the severe storms that we would see on Wednesday would be early in the morning. So on Tuesday, we do have a marginal threat for severe storms, and I think that continues through Wednesday morning. Okay, let me see the track of some of these storms. Okay, so I can update that. Okay, so actually this was right. Let's see, again, tracking it into Cincinnati. Yeah, between 3 to 5 p.m. we could start to see some of these storms pop up, but we're still several hours away. So you know, and nothing's severe right now. Let me see if there's any storm reports from what happened earlier this morning. Oh, yeah. Some wind reports. Let's check out how strong those winds were. Kankakee County, 49-mile-per-hour wind gust. That was this morning, just a couple of hours ago. 40-mile-per-hour wind gust. So below severe criteria, but still some strong gusty winds. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Obviously, we are the official weather provider for the Cincinnati Reds, and their first pitch is 2 hours and 20 minutes away at 1:40 today, so we'll be busy with them. Mostly Steve Horsemeyer will be busy updating them. So yeah, so Mandy, to answer your question, I think if we do have severe storms on Wednesday, it's going to be in the morning. Severe threat for today, technically, let's say from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., that's when we have the pop-up storms. I don't think they're going to be severe. I think our best chance for severe storms is after midnight when we see that line of storms possibly moving into the tri-state. So kind of 2 different rounds of storms possible for us today. Okay. This is quite a busy radar, even though it's not here at home. So yeah, so I would get outside, enjoy the weather until 3 p.m., then have a way to get those alerts. Keep an eye to the sky, keep an ear out for that thunder, because that's when we could start to see some of those storms moving into the area. The other thing is that these storms could really, and the reason why I think most of the models keep it focused in kind of this area from Warren to Clinton, Highland counties, is because this storm system is likely to kind of do that. Let me draw that for you. It's likely to kind of sweep through in that nature. So I think that if you're south of that line, chances are you stay dry, or you at least don't get the brunt of these storms. If you're along that line or north, you have the better chance to see some of those thunderstorms. Let me clear that out. I'm trying to see what's happening with that line behind it. Yeah, that's just some showers that are moving toward that I-55 icon. Behind it. And actually, this could help to stabilize us so that that round after midnight isn't quite as strong, but we'll see. Obviously, meteorologist Ethan Emery will be in this afternoon and evening. He will have your 7:15 streaming show for you as well, and he'll be able to really go into detail. 7:15, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on the weekend. 7:15 Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock on the weekends. Should be perfect timing. We should have some of those storms on radar, and he'll know more about that round that's going to move in after midnight as well. So, okay. Just continuing to read through. 6 p.m. on is inaccurate. It's going to be, so we have the pop-up storms from about 3 to 7 p.m. and then we have more storms after midnight. So, but the pop-up storms are really going to be focused more north and northeast of Cincinnati. How likely is that model? Unlikely. Yeah, I think that's I think 6 p.m. is too late. Actually, let me show you this model. What it's showing. Okay, so again, 3 o'clock, it's still north of our area. 4 or 5 p.m. it's starting to graze areas further to the north, Middletown, Lebanon, Wilmington, and then we continue to watch those storms pop up after midnight. So again, if you're out and about this afternoon, at 3 p.m., keep an eye to the sky. Storms are likely to still be north of the Cincinnati area, but we will be watching it very closely. And then 3 p.m. to about 7 p.m. is that first round, another round after midnight. Okay. Let's see here. Making sure I've got all the comments and all of the. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all I have for you right now. Again, remember, not only are we tracking storms, but we're also talking about the heat and humidity. It's going to be very hot, very humid, dangerously hot and humid over the next several days, all the way through Tuesday. So, drink plenty of fluid, stay inside in the air conditioning if you can, and keep an eye on the pets, your neighbors, your elderly, family and friends, all that kind of deal, because it's going to be dangerously hot. Okay, I hope everybody enjoys their Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But of course, you can tune in this afternoon, this evening, to see Ethan Emery's forecast as well. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday.